Kiera Luck and Chris Jenkins here for the Charlotte Vibe in Atlanta, Georgia, where the Falcons just defeated the Panthers.
Beautiful stadium.
It's okay. Where the Falcons just defeated the Panthers 22-10. We're going to cut right now to the locker room where the Panthers are visibly disappointed.
We didn't play well enough. Offense, defense, and special teams. We didn't play well enough to come away with the win. They did a great job executing their game plan, and we didn't. One thing we did well, I think, in the red zone, we played well defensively. Try to hold them to 3 points and try to do field goals and takeaways. But at the same time, man, they did a great job, and they came out with the win.
Missed opportunities for you guys today?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Most definitely, man. We got to get off the field on third down defensively-wise. We got to make plays, and we didn't do that today.
What was coach's message to you guys after the game?
Oh, none, man. It's time to let this one go. We don't have time to let this loss linger around. It's playoffs time now. Got to let it go and move forward and get ready to play New Orleans.
I mean, I think for anyone who watched, it was pretty self-explanatory. Obviously, we played really bad on offense. Well, I think the first thing, we talk all week, we talk all year about looking out for guys. And if anyone saw the replay, you take a full-on helmet square to the face, you'd at least like to get the penalty. So I think everyone who watched it understood why I was upset about that. We didn't play well enough to win. So we can lie to ourselves, but we just didn't play well enough offensively to win.
We didn't do well enough on defense to win. You got to get the ball out more against a team like this that can score when they want to, and we got to do better on third down and get the ball out. So that's what we're going to try to do moving forward is get better third down stops and get the ball out.
How frustrating is it when you see what the Bucs did, knowing that you guys could have taken the division and been at home next week? Yeah,
it's one of those things you try to play your game, and I saw it at the end of the game, and when that happens, you had an opportunity to be at home, and unfortunately we weren't able to capitalize on it, but that's just that's how the game goes, and everyone in this locker room would have liked to have a home game in front of our fans back in Charlotte, but that's not the case this time, and we're gonna have to go on the road here first round of the playoffs. Like you said, it's time to put the regular season behind us and understand that it's the playoffs now, and everyone, like you said, has the same record. We got to go on the road this week to play New Orleans. They're good. They beat us twice this year, and we're going to bring our A game.
As you guys can see, the Panthers definitely share sentiments in those disappointing faces and comments.
Yeah.
Chris Jenkins, tell me a little bit about what that locker room was.
That locker room was like dead man walking, right? I go in there, the first person I go to talk to is Ryan Khalil. He's like just sitting there, head down. He's like, after I shower. I'm like, all right. And it took me quite a long time just to get the three guys that we saw there on camera, and they really looked visibly upset. I think a lot of those guys knew that they had an opportunity, like a big opportunity with Tampa Bay beating the Saints, to do something and to have possibly a home playoff game. And they're definitely going to take their 24 hours to get it out of their system, and we're going to see what happens. So for you fans that wonder about, you're pissed off, are the players pissed off, 100% the most pissed off locker room that I've seen this year.
All right, so what about Cam Newton's performance? It's safe to say fans were very disappointed in his performance today.
Yeah, you get to see Twitter, so you get to see a lot of games going on. But Cam's performance was definitely subpar. He's had an up and down season, and sometimes when he's not up so much, the defense will rise up. Well, I'm not using the other team's sayings today, right? But the Falcons say rise up, but they didn't. Their defense played solid, but I think they were on the field too much. They had a 10-minute differential in favor of the Falcons, which means the defense was out there a pretty long time. And I think that they just wore us out. They just kept pounding against us, and you saw in the second half, the scoring went up for the Falcons, and the final score was, 22-10, was it? So defense and offense, they got to find ways to play a game with some enthusiasm, right?
So, of course, we can't just blame this all on Cam. What about the overall performance of the team, and what are your thoughts on the game?
Overall performance was, again, everybody seemed flat. I don't know if it's like, they get in this new stadium, they started looking around. Maybe it's something you could even talk about in terms of the coaching, right? It's the coach's responsibilities to get these guys up, have a good game plan. And that's one thing I know people pick on Shula all season long, but you don't see adjustments from him in the game to say, all right, this isn't working, let's change it up. Because when they go down, like toward the end, when they went up by, I think it was about 9 points late in the game, I said, that's it. Because number one, we don't have our speedy guys, which we honestly haven't been able to utilize anyway all season. So we don't even have that threat to kind of fake somebody out. What are we going to do? And again, on the defensive side, Matt Ryan, over 300 yards passing. Second week in a row that we've allowed over 300 yards passing. We stopped them from rushing. We had them under 100 yards there. But, you know, you want to say some positive things. It's tough. It's tough. Yeah. The positive thing is we get to play again next week.
Right.
Now you yourself, thoughts on the game today? You can let it out. Let it out. We got to let it out. Go ahead.
My thoughts on the game, as a fan, I'm super disappointed, but I am realistic. I do know that we play next week. Hopefully this is just practice and we get all the kinks out and we can get to Drew Brees and actually win next week in New Orleans. I think they're disappointed enough to realize that next week is no games. It's either win or go home.
Yeah, and can I touch on next week with New Orleans? Like, I don't much do predictions, right? But with facing New Orleans, I like the fact that I think it's pretty hard to beat one team 3 times in one NFL season, right? You know, you get the 2, you kind of see how that could happen, but beating 3 times in a row, I think
we should have the number by now.
Yeah, you should know some things. You should be pissed off enough from losing twice and then losing a day to go out and play a really solid game. So I like the chances in New Orleans.
I do too. I think this is enough for Cam to get him pissed off, and hopefully Cam is pissed off enough to hopefully bring us back home a W and head us into the second round. So, Chris, any final thoughts?
Keep pounding. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. It is, right. Happy New Year, guys. And as always, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Please like, subscribe, and comment on all our social media platforms. We hope to see you throughout the week. Chris will be in the locker rooms. I hopefully will be back next week in New Orleans at 4 p.m. Stay tuned. And as always, keep pounding.